Off the eastern edge of Africa, adrift in the sapphire expanse of the Indian Ocean, an island rises like a dream from the sea. Madagascar, an ancient land shaped by time and solitude, cut adrift from the continents for over 80 million years. Here, the world as we know it has taken a different path, a place where the past lingers and evolution has carved out its own peculiar masterpieces. Beneath the gentle shroud of dawn, Madagascar's forests awaken. A soft mist drapes the canopy, hiding secrets older than memory. The calls of unseen creatures echo through the tangled green, and shafts of golden light break through the foliage, illuminating a realm that feels both primordial and untouched. This is a land of wonder, but also of mystery, a place whose true heart lies far from the familiar. Most know Madagascar for its iconic images: the avenue of baobabs, the sun-drenched beaches, the playful lemurs. But beyond the postcards and well-trodden trails, there exists a side of the island few have witnessed, a world of hidden waterfalls cascading into forgotten valleys, secret caves carved by ancient rivers, and remote villages where traditions have survived the centuries. These are the unseen corners, the places where the spirit of Madagascar endures in its most unspoiled form. To venture into the heart of Madagascar is to step back in time. The earth here tells stories of lost continents, of creatures that vanished elsewhere but linger here, and of people whose lives are woven into the land itself. Each journey reveals new wonders: forests hung with orchids and lianas, where chameleons the size of a thumbnail cling to slender branches, rivers that carve through limestone, opening into vast, otherworldly caverns, coastlines where the sea shimmers with every shade of blue, and ancient fishing villages cling to the rocks. In the far north, the mountains of Ankarana rise like stone sentinels, their sharp limestone pinnacles known as Singi piercing the sky. Few have walked these labyrinths where razor-edged rocks guard hidden grottos and underground rivers. The air here is heavy with the scent of wild jasmine, and the only sound is the wind whistling through the stone. Within these remote highlands, rare creatures thrive in isolation. Nocturnal lemurs, with eyes shining like lanterns, leap from branch to branch under the cover of darkness. Leaf-tailed geckos vanish against the bark of ancient trees, invisible but ever-present. Journeying south, the landscape transforms. The forests give way to vast plains, studded with the swollen trunks of baobab trees, their silhouettes stark against the blood-red sunsets. To the local Malagasy people, these trees are sacred, guardians of the land, and silent witnesses to centuries of change. In hidden groves, some baobabs are older than history itself, their roots twisting deep into the earth, their branches reaching for the stars. But perhaps Madagascar's greatest wonders lie in its rainforests, cloaked in perpetual mist. Here, in the remote reaches of Masoala and Makira, life flourishes in abundance unseen elsewhere. The forest floor is a tapestry of green, ferns, mosses, orchids, and fungi, while above, a canopy teems with life. Endemic birds, brilliant vangas, and secretive ground rollers dart through the leaves. Sifakas, with their ghostly white fur, leap effortlessly from tree to tree, their movements both graceful and otherworldly. And yet, for every creature that dazzles the eye, there are countless more known only to those who truly look. Tiny frogs, no larger than a fingernail, sing their songs at dusk. In the deep shade, insects shimmer in iridescent hues, their delicate forms a testament to nature's artistry. Beyond the forests, Madagascar's rivers wind through hidden valleys, carving deep canyons and revealing ancient secrets. In the east, the Mananara River tumbles through pristine wilderness, its banks lined with towering palms and wild ginger. Here, the scent of vanilla drifts on the breeze, a reminder that this island's riches are not just natural, but cultural. Along these rivers, small villages thrive, their traditions unchanged for generations. Fishermen slip silently across the water in handmade pirogues, casting nets that glisten in the morning light. Women wade through rice paddies, their laughter echoing across the fields. And always, there is the ocean, the ever-present boundary and lifeblood of the island. Madagascar's coasts are a study in contrasts. Broad stretches of white sand, secluded coves, and sheer cliffs that drop into turquoise depths. Coral reefs, some of the most biodiverse in the world, fringe the island, home to a kaleidoscope of life. In the far southwest, the Vezo people live in harmony with the sea, their days shaped by the tides and the migrations of fish and whale. Here, ancient dugout canoes ride the waves, and the connection between people and ocean remains unbroken. To truly know Madagascar is to embrace its complexity. It is a land of paradoxes, of beauty and hardship, abundance and isolation, ancient traditions and new beginnings. Its people are as diverse as its landscapes, their stories woven into every stone, every tree, every breath of wind. In the marketplaces of Antananarivo, the capital, the scents of spices and the calls of vendors fill the air, a vibrant tapestry of life. Yet just beyond the city's edge, the old ways persist. Masked dancers perform rituals handed down through generations, and healers gather plants from the forest, drawing on knowledge as old as the island itself. Madagascar's story is one of resilience. Its unique creatures have survived against the odds, adapting to a changing world. Its people, too, have found ways to endure, to thrive, and to protect the treasures of their homeland. In the face of modern challenges, deforestation, climate change, and the pressures of a growing population, the spirit of Madagascar endures, fierce and unyielding. This is the unseen Madagascar, a world of hidden wonders and forgotten places where the boundaries between past and present blur, and the natural world reveals its deepest secrets. To journey here is to witness a living testament to the power of isolation, of adaptation, and of hope. In the quiet moments, as the sun rises over mist-shrouded forests and the call of a distant lemur echoes through the trees, one is reminded that there are still places on Earth where magic lingers and where the wild heart of nature beats strong and true. In the remote western reaches of Madagascar, far from the bustle of human civilization, lies a land sculpted by time and the relentless forces of erosion. The Tsingy de Bemaraha rises from the landscape like the petrified waves of an ancient ocean, a vast labyrinth of limestone pinnacles, each one sharpened over millennia into blades that pierce the sky. This is a stone forest, unlike any other on Earth, a natural fortress where the boundaries between earth and air blur, and life finds a way to flourish against the odds. From above, the forest appears impenetrable, a sea of jagged grey spires stretching as far as the eye can see. The word Tsingy comes from the Malagasy, meaning where one cannot walk barefoot. It is a fitting name, for these rocks are as treacherous as they are magnificent. The limestone, once the bed of an ancient sea, has been carved by the persistent work of wind and rain, each droplet and gust chiseling the rock into ever more elaborate forms. In this cathedral of stone, sunlight filters down in narrow shafts, illuminating the hidden worlds that cling to the rock faces and nestle in deep crevices. Despite its forbidding appearance, the Tsingy is home to a remarkable diversity of life. Evolution, isolated by these impassable walls, has taken bold and unexpected turns. Lemurs, Madagascar's most iconic residents, have adapted to this vertical world with astonishing agility. Watch as a troop of Deccan's sifaka, sometimes called the dancing lemur, leaps from pinnacle to pinnacle, their white coats fluttering like ghosts against the somber stone. These primates have evolved powerful hind legs and a unique sideways leap, allowing them to traverse chasms and knife-edged ridges with grace and precision. For them, the Tsingy is a playground and a sanctuary, a place where few predators dare to follow. High above, the air is alive with the vibrant calls of rare birds. The Madagascar fish eagle, with its piercing eyes and broad wings, soars on the thermals, scanning the rivers that meander through the stone maze below. In the shaded understory, the elusive Van Dam's vanga flits from branch to branch, a flash of blue-black plumage in the gloom. Each species is finely attuned to the challenges of this landscape, their lives interwoven with the intricate architecture of rock and root. Yet, it is not just the larger creatures that have adapted to the Tsingy's extremes. In the silence that settles between the cliffs, one may encounter the leaf-tailed gecko, a master of camouflage. Its skin is mottled and ridged, mimicking the lichen-encrusted stone so perfectly that the line between animal and mineral seems to blur. During the day, it clings motionless to the rock, invisible to both predator and prey. Only at night does it reveal itself, stalking through the shadows in search of insects. The Tsingyi's flora, too, has found ingenious ways to survive in this harsh environment. Trees send roots deep into crevices, anchoring themselves in the scant soil that collects between the stones. Baobabs, those ancient sentinels of Madagascar, rise unexpectedly from the rock, their swollen trunks storing water to endure the dry season's heat. Orchids and succulents flourish in the nooks and fissures, their blooms a fleeting splash of color amidst the gray. For the people of Madagascar, the Tsingy is more than a geological curiosity. It is a place of mystery and reverence. Local legends tell of spirits who dwell among the stones, guardians of the forest who watch over its creatures and protect its secrets. Traditional taboos, or fadi, restrict entry to certain parts of the reserve, preserving the delicate balance between human and nature. To enter the Tsingy is to step into another world, one governed by rules as old as the rocks themselves. The Tsingy de Bemaraha has not gone unnoticed by the world beyond Madagascar. In 1990, it was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized for both its natural beauty and its extraordinary biodiversity. Yet its isolation has also been its salvation. The formidable geography has shielded it from the encroachment of agriculture and industry, allowing its ecosystems to remain largely intact. Only the most intrepid explorers and scientists venture into its depths, documenting new species and unlocking the secrets of evolution in action. Within this stone labyrinth, time moves at a different pace. The processes that shaped the Tsingy began some 200 million years ago, when the supercontinent of Gondwana began to break apart, setting Madagascar adrift in the Indian Ocean. As the island's limestone seabed was lifted and exposed, rainwater, made acidic by decaying plant matter, began to dissolve the rock, carving channels and fissures that would, over countless generations, become the tsingy we see today. It is a testament to nature's patient artistry, a reminder that the most extraordinary landscapes are born not from sudden upheaval, but from the ceaseless, gentle work of water and wind. Yet, for all its seeming permanence, the tsingy is a fragile world. Climate change, deforestation on the surrounding plains, and the pressures of a growing human population all threaten its delicate equilibrium. Conservation efforts, led by local communities and international organizations, strive to protect this unique habitat, ensuring that the tsingy's wonders endure for generations to come. As the sun sets over the stone forest, the sharp pinnacles cast long shadows across the land. The air is filled with the chorus of frogs and the distant calls of lemurs settling for the night. In this moment, the Tsingy de Bemaraha stands as both fortress and refuge, a testament to the power of adaptation and to the enduring beauty of the natural world. Here, where stone and life are inextricably intertwined, we are reminded of nature's boundless creativity and of the profound connections that unite all living things. Beneath the vibrant canopy of Madagascar's Ankarana Reserve, where sunlight dapples the forest floor and lemurs call to one another through the trees, there exists another world altogether, a realm untouched by day, forged over millennia in the silent patience of stone. Here, amid the jagged limestone formations known as the Tsingy, the earth opens its secret doors, revealing a network of caves and subterranean rivers that stretch for miles beneath the surface. This is the underground kingdom, the Ankarana Caves, a place where darkness reigns and life has learned to persist in the absence of light. Long ago, this region lay beneath ancient seas, layer upon layer of sediment settled, solidifying into limestone. Over untold ages, rainwater seeped down, its acidity dissolving the stone, carving out a labyrinth of tunnels, galleries, and vast chambers. Time, patient and indifferent, sculpted these halls in silence, creating a world where the rules of survival would differ from those above. As we descend into the cavern, shafts of sunlight filter through a narrow sinkhole, casting ethereal beams into the gloom. The air grows cooler, the sounds of the forest fade, and soon we are enveloped by a hush as profound as the darkness itself. Here, beneath the weight of the land, life persists, adapted to the strictures of perpetual night. In this subterranean domain, evolution has taken an extraordinary turn. Isolated by darkness and stone, creatures have diverged from their surface relatives, developing traits entirely their own. Some have lost their eyesight, for eyes are useless in a world without light. Others have honed their sense of touch or learned to navigate by the faintest vibrations in the water. In the still waters of an underground pool, a shadow stirs, a creature older than the caves themselves. The cave crocodile, a remnant of a primeval age, glides silently through the blackness. Unlike its river-dwelling kin above, the cave crocodile has adapted to this world of gloom. Its skin, pale and mottled, blends perfectly with the limestone walls. Its eyes, shrunken and milky, betray little use for vision. Instead, it relies on movement and the subtle changes in water currents to detect prey. This formidable predator is a master of patience, lying motionless for hours, even days, until an unwitting bat or blind fish ventures too close. When it strikes, it does so with explosive speed, a swift reminder that even in the most forbidding environments, nature allows no room for complacency. Above the water, the air is alive with the rustle of leathery wings. The Ankarana caves are home to vast colonies of bats, dozens of species, each perfectly adapted to the darkness. Hanging in dense clusters from the ceiling, they rest by day, venturing out each night in search of insects, nectar, or fruit. Their echolocation, the ability to see with sound, guides them through the twisting tunnels, allowing them to navigate with unerring precision. Bats are the great engineers of the cave ecosystem. Their droppings, known as guano, provide a rich source of nutrients in a place where sunlight never reaches. From this humble foundation springs an entire web of life. Crustaceans, beetles, spiders, and blind fish, all feeding on the bounty brought in by the bats. In this closed system, every scrap of organic matter is precious, recycled again and again in a delicate balance. Among the cave's most enigmatic inhabitants are the blind fish, a testament to nature's ingenuity. Born in darkness, they have no need for eyes. Over generations, their vision has withered away, replaced by heightened senses of smell and touch. Their bodies are translucent, their skin lacking pigment, and their movements are slow and deliberate, a reflection of the sparse resources and the need for careful conservation of energy. These fish, drifting through the inky waters, navigate by detecting minute changes in water pressure and chemical cues. They feed on the small invertebrates that thrive in the nutrient-rich pools, themselves sustained by the cascade of guano from the bat colonies above. Here, every link in the chain is vital. Disrupt one, and the entire system could unravel. Yet for all its isolation, the underground kingdom is not immune to the changes wrought above. Water, the lifeblood of the caves, flows down from the surface, carrying with it not only nutrients, but also the trace elements of human activity. In recent decades, the discovery of these caves has drawn scientists and adventurers from around the world, eager to unlock their secrets. With this attention comes both opportunity and risk. Opportunity to learn, to protect, and to marvel. Risk that careless footsteps or unchecked tourism may disturb the fragile equilibrium. Despite these challenges, the Ankarana caves endure, as they have for millions of years, a monument to the resilience of life in the face of adversity. Their darkness conceals not only the creatures who dwell within, but also the stories of adaptation and survival that have unfolded in silence, hidden from the gaze of the sun. In the grand tapestry of our planet, the underground kingdom is a thread seldom seen, but vital nonetheless. It reminds us that life is not confined to the places we know, but flourishes in the most improbable corners, shaped by the quiet persistence of time. Here, in the endless night of Ankarana, evolution continues its patient work, crafting forms both familiar and strange, each a testament to the power of adaptation and the enduring mystery of the natural world. As we emerge once more into the light, blinking against the brilliance of day, we carry with us the memory of that hidden realm, a place where life, against all odds, has found a way. Northwest of Madagascar, in the vast embrace of the Indian Ocean, lies a constellation of islands that time itself seems to have overlooked. This is the Nosy Hara Archipelago, a scattered sanctuary of limestone stacks and emerald islets, ringed by coral reefs so vibrant they seem to pulse with their own inner light. Here, the turquoise waters ripple gently against ancient stone, their hypnotic rhythm a lullaby for the restless wind, and a welcome for those who seek solace far from crowded shores. On the surface, the islands appear untouched, as if the world has pressed pause. Dense thickets of green cloak the limestone ridges, interspersed with the outstretched arms of baobab trees, their roots clutching at stone, as if holding the earth together. The air is thick with the calls of seabirds, terns and frigates, wheeling in lazy arcs above the surf, their silhouettes stark against the endless blue. Each island, from the largest to the smallest, seems to float atop the sea, rising from the depths like ancient fortresses guarding secrets too precious to reveal. A solitary fisherman rows quietly past these limestone sentinels, his wooden pirogue gliding effortlessly over the glassy water. With practiced strokes, he navigates the labyrinth of channels and reefs, his presence a fleeting whisper in a landscape shaped by millennia. Generations have passed since people regularly inhabited these islands. Now, only a handful of fishers visit, respecting the rhythms of nature and the rules that protect this fragile place. For the most part, Nosy Hara belongs to the birds, the lizards, and the creatures of the deep. Beneath the waves, a different world unfurls, a living tapestry woven from color and motion. The coral reefs fringe the islands in intricate patterns, their branches and domes forming a maze of shelter and sustenance. Shoals of bright anthias flicker through the water, their scales catching the sunlight like shards of stained glass. Parrotfish graze on the coral, their beaks clicking softly as they shape the reef, while butterflyfish and angelfish dance in pairs through the labyrinthine nooks. Here, sea turtles glide with unhurried grace, their ancient forms perfectly adapted to a life spent drifting between land and sea. They move in slow arcs, pausing to nibble at seagrass or rest among the coral heads, their shells adorned with stories as old as the islands themselves. Watching them, it is easy to believe that time moves differently in Nosy Hara, that the relentless march of progress and change falters at the water's edge. But perhaps the most astonishing inhabitants of these reefs are the pygmy seahorses, rare, reclusive, and perfectly camouflaged among the Gorgonian corals. Barely larger than a grain of rice, they cling to swaying branches, their bodies covered in tiny tubercles that mimic the texture of their chosen home. To find one is to witness a miracle of adaptation, a reminder that even in the smallest corners of the ocean, life finds a way to flourish against the odds. Above the waves, the island's shelter creatures found nowhere else on Earth. The leaf-tailed gecko, master of disguise, clings to bark and stone, its flattened body blending seamlessly with lichen and moss. Endemic birds flit among the trees, their songs echoing across the open spaces, while giant land snails traverse the forest floor in slow, deliberate journeys. Every life here is a testament to isolation, a unique answer to the challenges posed by wind, weather, and the ceaseless sea. Nosy Hara is more than a refuge. It is a living laboratory, offering glimpses into evolution's endless creativity. The archipelago's isolation has shaped its inhabitants in remarkable ways, encouraging diversity and resilience. With each tide, new stories are written in the sand and coral, waiting for those patient enough to read them. Yet, for all its beauty, this place is not immune to the world's troubles. Rising sea levels, warming oceans, and illegal fishing threaten the delicate balance that has allowed Nosy Hara to remain untouched for so long. Conservationists and local communities work together here, striving to protect what remains, to ensure that the reefs stay vibrant and the forests dense. They patrol the waters, monitor the wildlife, and educate visitors, fostering a sense of stewardship rooted in respect and wonder. To visit Nosy Hara is to step into a world apart, a sanctuary where nature reigns and time slows to the pace of the tide. It is a place where silence is broken only by the cry of birds and the whisper of waves, where ancient rocks bear silent witness to the passage of countless years. Here, the boundaries between past and present blur, and each moment feels suspended, luminous, and rare. Even now, the archipelago holds secrets still unfolding, species yet to be discovered, stories yet to be told. For scientists and explorers, Nosy Hara is a treasure trove of possibilities, its reefs and forests offering clues to the mysteries of adaptation and survival. For those who journey here, it is a reminder of nature's power to endure and inspire, even in the face of uncertainty. And so, the lost isles of Nosy Hara remain, uninhabited, pristine, and protected. A sanctuary where time sleeps and life flourishes, cradled by the endless blue of the Indian Ocean. In their solitude, they remind us of the world as it once was, and as it might yet be, if we choose to listen and to care. High in the heart of Madagascar's central highlands, where the air is crisp and the clouds often linger like silent sentinels, Lake Tritriava lies cradled in the ancient caldera of a long slumbering volcano. The journey here is not for the faint of heart. Winding roads climb through terraced fields, past villages where the rhythms of tradition still echo in daily life. Eventually, the landscape gives way to rugged cliffs, their faces etched by centuries of wind and rain. And it is here, nestled in this volcanic amphitheater, that the lake reveals itself, a startling expanse of green, glassy water surrounded by walls of basalt and tuff. At first glance, Tritriva's stillness is absolute. Its surface often reflects the surrounding cliffs and the shifting moods of the sky, creating a mirror where clouds drift and birds wheel in lazy arcs. But beneath this calm exterior lies a world of mystery, known best to those who have called this land home for generations. To the Malagasy people, Lake Tritriva is more than a geological marvel. It is a sacred being, its waters imbued with memory, legend, and spirit. They say it breathes with the land, its level rising and falling in ways that defy the logic of seasons and rainfall, as if moved by unseen hands. The most enduring of the lake's legends tells of Rabeniombi and Ravolahanta, two young lovers from rival families whose passion was forbidden by tradition and circumstance. Desperate to escape the constraints of their world, they vowed to remain together forever, even beyond death. It is said that on the edge of the crater, they made their final pledge and leapt, hand in hand, into the lake's emerald depths, vanishing from mortal sight, but never from memory. Since that day, villagers have watched the water's mysterious fluctuations, rising when other lakes recede, falling even after rains, and whispered that it is the lovers' hearts beating as one, their souls forever bound to the sacred water. Even today, the people of the nearby villages honor this connection. Rituals are performed along the lake's shore, offerings of fruit and flowers left at the water's edge. Incense curls upward, carrying prayers for love, protection, and peace. At dusk, the air fills with the laughter of children, who splash in the cool shallows under the watchful eyes of their elders. But always, there is a sense of reverence. a tacit understanding that Lake Tritriva is alive, an ancient witness to the joys and sorrows of the living. The lake's unusual behavior has long puzzled even the most practical observers. During Madagascar's dry season, when rivers and ponds shrink beneath the relentless sun, Tritriva's waters may rise, lapping higher against the volcanic stone. Then, as the rains return and the land turns green, the lake may inexplicably recede. Scientists have proposed their theories, pointing to hidden underground channels, porous volcanic rock, the slow seep of groundwater. But for many, the legends offer a truth that science cannot fully explain. In a world where the seen and unseen intertwine, where nature and spirit are never truly separate, the heartbeat of the lovers is as real as the water itself. The cliffs that encircle Lake Tritriva are more than a geological curiosity. Black and grey, streaked with red and ochre, they are the remnants of ancient eruptions, a testament to the raw forces that shaped this landscape. Over millennia, wind and rain have carved ledges and alcoves where hardy plants cling to life and birds nest in the crevices. The path that winds around the crater rim is narrow and steep in places, but it offers stunning views. The lake's surface far below, ringed by stone, the surrounding hills rolling away into distance, and the patchwork of fields and forests that sustain the people of this region. For those who come here, pilgrims, travelers, families seeking solace or adventure, there is a palpable sense of entering a realm apart. The silence is profound, broken only by the wind or the distant call of a bird. Time seems to slow, the concerns of the outside world receding with each step along the crater rim. At certain points, the path brings visitors close to the water, where the color shifts from deep green to turquoise and gold as the light changes. Here, it is easy to understand why Tritriva has inspired awe and devotion for generations, a place where earth, water, and spirit are bound together in delicate balance. Throughout the year, the lake remains a focal point for community life. Festivals and gatherings are held on its shores, where music and dance echo across the water, and old stories are told anew for each generation. Healers come to collect water for rituals, believing in its power to cleanse and protect. Young couples visit, sometimes to make promises of their own, leaving garlands or whispered prayers for the blessing of the lovers who are said to dwell beneath the surface. But with reverence comes responsibility. Local leaders have long recognized the importance of preserving Tritriva's fragile beauty. Fishing is limited, and bathing is permitted only in designated areas. Guides remind visitors of the lake's sacred status, urging respect for both the environment and the traditions that keep its spirit alive. In recent years, efforts have been made to balance the growing interest from outsiders with the need to protect what makes the lake unique, a living heritage inseparable from the land and people who cherish it. As the sun sets and the shadows lengthen across the crater, Lake Tritriva takes on a different aspect. Mist rises from the water, blurring the line between earth and sky, past and present. The stories told by the firelight drift on the wind, mingling with the songs of insects and the distant sounds of village life. Even as darkness falls, there is a sense that the lake is watching, listening, holding the memories of all who have come here, lovers and dreamers, elders and children, bound together by a place that is, in every sense, alive. For the Malagasy, Lake Tritriva is not only a landmark or a legend, but a companion on the journey of life, a witness to their joys and sorrows, their hopes and fears. and for all those who stand on the edge of its sacred crater, gazing into waters that shift and shimmer with each passing hour, it offers a reminder of the mysteries that endure, the power of love, the resilience of nature, and the quiet presence of spirit in the heart of the world. At the break of dawn, as the first rays of sunlight shimmer across the turquoise lagoons, the pulse of Andavadawaka awakens. The air is cool, scented with salt, and the promise of another day shaped by the sea. Along the narrow, sandy shoreline, Vezo fishermen quietly ready their pirogues. Sleek, hand-hewn boats, crafted from local wood, their hulls as familiar to these men as the lines on their palms. Each vessel is a living heirloom, passed between generations, lovingly repaired, and adorned with painted symbols that reflect the spirit of the ocean and the resilience of the families who depend on it. The Vezo are known as nomads of the sea, and for good reason. For centuries, their lives have followed the rhythms of wind and water, the rise and fall of tides, and the secrets whispered by the moonlight. Beneath the gentle slap of waves against the boat's sides, there is a deeper conversation, a dialogue with ancestors whose knowledge is etched in the way nets are woven, sails are patched, and fish are found. Out on the water, every decision is shaped by lessons carried across countless dawns. As the fishermen paddle out, their silhouettes glide silently over coral gardens that teem with life. The lagoons here are studded with reefs, brilliant with color, and alive with movement. The Vezo know these underwater landscapes intimately. They understand which coral heads shelter octopus, where the schools of sardines run during the waxing moon, and how to cast a net so delicately that it catches only what is needed, never more. Their fishing methods, simple, sustainable, and respectful, are a blueprint for harmony between people and nature. In Andavadawaka, the sea gives, but it also demands respect. The Vezo do not take indiscriminately. Instead, they fish with intention, guided by unwritten rules that ensure abundance for future generations. Women and men alike participate in this delicate balance. On the shore, groups of women gather to farm seaweed, a practice recent to the region but now deeply intertwined with the community's identity. At low tide, they wade through the shallows, their skirts trailing in the water, tenderly tying seedlings to lines strung between wooden stakes. Over the weeks, the seaweed grows, nourished by sunlight and the gentle caress of the current. When it is ready, the harvest is shared among families, dried beneath the open sky, and sold to distant markets, bringing new opportunity while leaving the ecosystem intact. Children, too, learn the ways of the sea from their earliest days. They watch their elders mend nets, patch sails, and read the signs of weather in the clouds and the scent of the wind. Every story told around the fire at night is a lesson in survival and stewardship, a reminder that the ocean is both provider and protector, but also a force to be treated with humility. As midday approaches, the village stirs with activity. Fish are brought ashore, sorted by hand, and divided according to custom. Some are destined for the evening meal, grilled over open flames and shared with neighbors. Others will be salted and dried, set aside for leaner days or for trade with inland communities. Nothing is wasted. Even the smallest catch is honored, and each meal is a celebration of the sea's generosity. Storytelling is woven through every aspect of life in Andavadawaka. Under a canopy of stars, elders recount the tales of great journeys and storms survived, of ancestors who first learned the secrets of the tides and taught them to their children. These narratives are not just entertainment. They are the community's memory, a living map that charts the safest passages, the richest fishing grounds, and the moral compass by which the Vezo live. In every story, there is a lesson about patience, respect, and the interconnectedness of all things. Over the years, the people of Andavadawaka have faced many challenges. Changes to the climate, shifting fish populations, and pressures from outside have threatened the delicate equilibrium that sustains their way of life. Yet the Vezo remain adaptable, drawing on the same ingenuity and resilience that has allowed them to thrive for generations. They experiment with new techniques, such as marine reserves, areas where fishing is temporarily paused to allow stocks to recover. These locally managed reserves, born from a blend of tradition and innovation, have become a model for sustainable fisheries around the world. Throughout it all, the connection between the Vezo and their environment endures. The coral reefs, with their dazzling diversity, are more than just a resource. They are sacred, a living legacy that shapes the identity of everyone who calls Andavadawaka home. Each dawn, as the pirogues slip quietly over mirrored water, the bond between people and sea is renewed. In this place, modernity and tradition are not at odds, but interwoven. The glow of smartphone screens is visible at night, but so too is the glow of the moon, guiding boats safely home. Young people leave for school, some venturing to cities far away, but many return, drawn back by the pull of the tides and the wisdom that can only be found here, among the reefs and the stories of their ancestors. As the day draws to a close, Andavadawaka settles into a tranquil rhythm. Fishers return with their modest haul, children play at the water's edge, and elders gather to share news and laughter. The colors of sunset spill across the sky, painting the village in gold and rose. It is a moment of gratitude for the bounty of the sea, for the bonds of community, and for the enduring legacy of those who have come before. Here, on the windswept coast, the Vezo continue their journey, navigating not only the changing tides of the ocean, but also the changing tides of the world. They do so with courage, wisdom, and an abiding respect for the delicate dance between people and nature. In Andavadawaka, the sea is more than a horizon. It is a way of life, a source of meaning, and a promise to future generations that as long as there are stories to tell and tides to follow, the spirit of the Vezo will endure. Madagascar is more than a place. It is a world unto itself, unseen by most, misunderstood by many. Across its vast and varied landscapes, a story unfolds that few have heard, and even fewer have witnessed firsthand. Here, stone forests rise like ancient cathedrals, chiseled by time and wind into impossible shapes that defy imagination. In these labyrinths of stone, shadows dance, and rare creatures find sanctuary, their lives unfolding in delicate balance, untouched by the rush of the modern world. Far from the familiar, lakes shimmer with an otherworldly glow, their waters reflecting skies painted with the hues of dawn and dusk. These hidden lakes are lifelines, sustaining communities of plants and animals found nowhere else on Earth. Beneath the surface, secrets linger, stories written in the language of evolution, told by species whose ancestors set foot on this land millions of years ago. Nestled between towering baobabs and dense rainforests, hidden villages thrive in harmony with the land. Life here is shaped by tradition, by knowledge passed down through generations, and by a deep respect for the wild heart of Madagascar. The villagers move with the rhythm of the seasons, guided by the wisdom of those who came before them, their daily lives intertwined with the stories and spirits of the land. In the wild places, lemurs leap through the treetops, their calls echoing in the dawn. Chameleons, with colors shifting in the dappled light, inch along branches as if time itself moves more slowly here. Each step through Madagascar's forests is a step back in time, to an era when nature's wonders were more abundant, and the world's mysteries still waited to be discovered around every corner. Yet, for all its wonders, Madagascar remains a place of fragility. The balance between preservation and change is delicate. Local guardians and passionate scientists work tirelessly to protect what remains, striving to ensure that the story of this island can continue to unfold for generations yet to come. Their efforts, though often unseen, are vital, reminders that even the most isolated corners of our world are connected to us all. Within its forgotten corners lies a glimpse of our planet as it once was, a tapestry woven from ancient life, resilient spirit, and enduring mystery. It is here, in the hidden folds of Madagascar, that we are reminded of the power of discovery and of our own place within the greater story of life. This is the unseen Madagascar, a final frontier, not of distance, but of discovery. It calls out to those who dare to look beyond the familiar, to those who seek not only new places, but new ways of seeing. For in the end, the true journey is not measured by the miles we travel, but by the wonder we find in the world around us. As the sun sets over stone forests and glowing lakes, and as gentle Malagasy melodies drift into the night, we are left with a simple truth. There are still places on this earth that hold their secrets close, waiting for curious hearts to find them. In Madagascar, the unknown endures, a hidden world, alive with possibility, inviting us all to see with new eyes.